stay a while and listen.
Yes, shout out to the big homie, Deckard Kane. Thank you for the message. Stay a while and listen, my friend. You are tuned into Spiritual Boss Radio. I'm your host, Master J. I'm a Vietnamese American shaman, and today we are going to dive deep into the truths of life. If you are a man, one of the many truths of life is the understanding of the world. And a big part of the world for a man is his relationship to the feminine vessel. The feminine vessel, which is the woman. In our prior video, we went over 3 reasons why woman exists in a man's life. And I highlighted, and I will always highlight, that the woman is an unrelenting force of nature. She has an unrelenting force, an unrelenting drive in her, which she cannot control, and which a man may never change. And many men of the modern world today, they were not taught this, and they get hurt. They get hurt, they become bitter, or they swear off women forever in the modern day. So if you are still seeking, this is for the men of the world who do not want to be a part of the status quo and are seeking to rise above the norm, or still seeking to love women, which is half the human species, well, it is imperative as a man that you understand them. As a man, you will have to master many things on your journey, on your spiritual evolution. One of those is your relationship to the feminine. One of those is your relationship to yourself. And one of those is your relationship and your ability to digest the truth. So I come here and speak nothing but the truth and nothing but the whole truth. Now I may mention this is a very healing topic. This is boss level game. And when you are listening to boss level game, you may have to replay it. You may have to dive a little deeper to understand it a little more, because you will see something within yourself when you are listening to this knowledge. You may hear some outlandish things. That's why in Spiritual Boss Global, we have the raw and unfiltered content, which I can put over there. That is our own domain. Right now we are here on YouTube. So that is for the intro. Today we're going to go over how women communicate and compete. Excuse me while I take a sip of Coke Zero. Not Diet Coke. No. Coke Zero. Okay. To understand the way of how women communicate, you must understand what I call the language of womanese. A man that does not know womanese will be at the mercy and suffering of his own feelings and his own projections onto the woman. Men who do not understand womanese are dangerous men, because these are the men that may fall into a deep depression or want to take their life after a relationship with a woman because he worshipped her or he put her too much on a pedestal. A man that does not understand womanese is the dangerous man. He may become dangerous to the woman around her because he does not understand her confusing and ambiguous ways. The logic of womanese, when you understand the logic of womanese, when you understand the program of womanese, you will then understand the woman, and you will not be confused by her. You will be able to love her as who she is and not project your shadow or project a image of a whore or a Puritan onto her. Womanese is... Excuse me, I have to really clear my throat for this one. Womanese is the understanding that sometimes what a woman says she wants isn't what she wants. And what she says is actually to see if she can get what she wants. So she knows the truth about getting what she says she wants from you and from life. I repeat that. Womanese is the understanding that sometimes what a woman says she wants isn't what she wants. And what she says is actually to see if she can get what she wants. So she knows the truth about getting what she says she wants. Womanese is understanding the logic behind her emotions and behind her communication using your own logic and understanding as a masculine faculty. Now you may be wondering, why is a shaman teaching me about women? Because on the journey of a man, he should have a spiritual guide, he should have a spiritual friend, he should have a spiritual liaison. And for the modern men of today, we have lost touch with our spiritual rights, and we have lost touch with our roles as spiritual elders. In my tribe and in my community, I play the role as shaman. I play the role as spiritual guide, helping pretty much people of all ages. And in the past, I mainly focused on women, helping women. And now today, I'm thinking I want to focus on men, just because to give balance, just to give balance, and that I understand the life of a man much more than other people do. and I've counseled hundreds and thousands of women, so I know this topic very well. A man that understands women has a great and happy life. A man that doesn't understand women is confused by them and is controlled by their emotions and their funky ways. It's really detrimental for a man that doesn't understand women. He can be very dangerous. So on the path of spirituality, on the path of your initiation, on the path of your dream life, the one thing that can harm you the most is a woman if you don't understand her. So you must understand womanese. If you learn anything for Spiritual Boss Global, understand womanese. Go to the link in the description and check out our classes on womanese, and go to spiritualbossglobal.com if you want to work with me. Womanese, womanese, womanese. Womanese, if you remember the nature of the woman and that all of a woman's actions proceed from a certain operating frame, you'll understand why she does what she does. And now I tell you, the amazing thing about this is when you start to see it, you can never unsee it. So if you are listening to this right now and you are really paying attention, when you start to see and understand and digest what I'm talking about, you will never be able to unsee it. So now is your time to click off if you don't want the reality of the matrix shattered. And now is the time to continue listening if you want to see the truth of the world. Just like if you know a man, you'll be able to predict his actions and why he does what he does. And if you know a dog, you'll understand why dogs do what they do, right? When you understand the nature of the woman, you'll understand what women do and why women do what they do. Men often sometimes get it wrong when they apply their own logic of thinking and action to a woman's thinking and actions. It doesn't make sense because you are comparing apples and oranges. To understand womanese is to understand that women communicate in the realm of energy and sub-communication and their divine nature. So we can break down the levels of communication with a woman. They communicate through energy, sub-communication, and their divine nature. What is their divine nature? One of the divine natures that God charged with them is to disqualify weak men and identify them. This functions as a protective mechanism to keep away men that have fragile egos who can become too attached to her or are dangerous away, because women are the weaker sex physically. So God gave them a special talent, and that special talent is to be able to test men and give them a bunch of shit and to disqualify them. Sub-communication and energy. Women communicate in between the lines, whereas as a man, the more masculine he is, the more he is able to talk, he is able to be more direct, he is able to be more focused. Oftentimes when a woman is very feminine or she's in her nature, her natural energy, she oftentimes communicates in between the lines. So I want you to understand womanese. Women communicate in the realm of energy, sub-communication, and their divine nature. But where their speech originates from is to disqualify weak men and identify them. This is why there's a saying: if you ever see a happy, laughing man, there's a woman waiting in the corner to be upset at him or to ruin it. It's funny, but this explains why, right? Whenever a woman sees that a man is happy, sometimes she'll come there just to ruin it. Why? Because her automatic function is to see if she can give the man some shit. It's to see if she can disqualify him or she can walk all over him, right? And that's really what women do. Women are the best at that. Women are very talented at that. And Patrice O'Neal, the famous Patrice O'Neal, he said, you need women's every once in a while you need women's disapproval just because it's entertaining, right? Women, when you start to understand them, when you start to love them, they become very entertaining, and they become just like they're there to bring balance into the force. When you don't understand them and you become damaged by them because you don't understand the balance of the force already, then you go too far one way or too far the other way. Understanding the woman's mode of operation and how she communicates through the realm of energy, sub-communication, and her divine nature. And this is very, 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 very prominent. I have a niece. Actually, I have two nieces. One of them is around 5 years old. And even a 5-year-old was giving me shit just to see what type of person I was. And when you begin to see the world through the language of womanese, you start to see that all of the female species performs the realm of womanese. So you have to become a womanese judo backflip kung fu master of reversal and psychological games, because that's the realm that the woman communicates in. She communicates in the realm of the psychological. She cannot dominate the world physically, right? Oftentimes. So what she does is she goes and dominates the world psychologically, and it's in their nature. It's a natural to them. It's natural to the woman to do this. This is why your sister or your mother, right, they give you so much hell. And this is why they seem like they're so evil. The more evil and the more annoying a woman is to you, oftentimes it means the more she loves you. And the more that a woman oftentimes tends to be perfect or acts in front of you, it's probably the more that she hates you. Women are backwards like that. If you understand womanese, you'll understand that almost everything that a woman does is backwards in the realm of a man's logic. Womanese is understanding that sometimes what a woman says she wants isn't what she wants, and what she says is actually to see if she can get what she wants, so she knows the truth about getting what she says she wants. Men get it wrong when they apply their own logic of thinking and action to a woman's thinking and actions. It doesn't make sense because you are comparing apples and oranges. My 5-year-old niece, she gives me shit sometimes. Or I remember specifically when I saw this in her, it was a hot day at our healing clinic, and I gave her some ice cream. I think it was strawberry Malona. You know Malona ice cream? Delicious! Strawberry Malona ice cream, and I think I had a taro Malona ice cream or the melon Malona ice cream. And she ate it. I gave her it. She opened the wrapper. She started eating it, and then she threw the wrapper on the ground. And she looked at me. And in that split second, I thought, I can't believe this little 5-year-old girl is performing womanese talk and shit testing me already. Why do women do things like that? The woman, the female, the child is seeing if they can pass boundaries. If a man has boundaries, even a 5-year-old is testing a grown man's boundaries by throwing the wrapper on the floor when she knows she should throw it in the trash. And I looked at her, I thought in my mind, I said, no freaking way is this little kid doing this. I said, you pick that up, throw it in the trash now. Damn it, what are you doing? And she laughed and she picked it up and she threw it in the trash. Why did the child do that? Why did the female do that? The female does that because she needs to see if you're a weak man. She always needs to test you and give you shit for no reason, just to see if she can walk all over you, because she has the inherent system to disqualify weak men and identify them. Even a child does this. I also have a 1-month-old niece. My 1-month-old niece does this. When she comes, when I come visit her, she's giving her parents hell. She's crying. And then she sees Uncle Jay walks in the door. She knows I'm there. And she stops crying. She pretends to act good. And then I'm playing with her. And then once I leave, she starts to cry. I thought, wow, look at the power of womanese. Look at the power of the woman's style of communication and how it's in their nature. At 1 month old, not even 1 month old, 3 weeks old, she is already learning how to manipulate men. She's already learning how to use her parents. She's already learning how to pass boundaries. And this is all because they have this nature that is built into them. Is it wrong? Is it bad? Is it evil? No, it is just nature. Is it wrong that a lion goes and hunts a gazelle and tears its neck off? No, it is nature. Is it wrong that a snake eats the eggs of a bird? It's unfortunate. No, but it is nature. When a woman communicates to you and she gives you shit unconsciously, or she annoys you unconsciously, is it because she's evil? Maybe, right? Depending on if it's your ex-wife, yeah. But oftentimes, no, it is because that is what she does. And if you let her do what she does, she'll continue to do what she wants to do, and she'll continue to do what she does. This is how women communicate. They constantly need to test a man's boundaries and the people's boundaries around them, so they can see if they can trust them. They need constant reassurance that their man is the man with the plan. They need constant reassurance that Uncle Jay giving me ice cream hasn't just fallen for my cute whims and is going to spoil me rotten. My young niece, my 5-year-old niece, she's not 5 right now. She might be 8 at this point. I haven't seen her in a while. She needs to know that my uncle is trustworthy and he's not just going to spoil me rotten and I can't walk all over him. Why? Because it's the divine nature of the woman. This is the woman's style of communication. It's sub-communication. My niece knows that that is wrong, but it's sub-communication. Do you read the sub-communication in every little thing that a woman does? Are you being able to see? Oh my goodness. Are you being able to begin seeing the realms of the sub-communication with the woman? Are you beginning to see how they act? Why? Because they are all rooted in this divine nature. This divine nature is the feminine energy. The feminine energy is wild. The feminine energy is the primordial energy of chaos. It is always looking to come around and be chaotic. This is why on YouTube comments, people go, oh my God, I love her. She is just chaos manifested. Because a woman in her primal elements is chaos. Chaos is not bad or good. It just is what it is. Yes, chaos is not bad or good. It just is what it is. Sometimes as a man, when you are stuck in the energy of order, sometimes you need a little chaos. Sometimes you need woman's disapproval. Sometimes you need woman's nonsensicalness, confusingness, their humor, their soft touch, their logic, their heart. Their, oh, look at that. That's so cute. Sometimes you need that so you don't become too hard like a rock. Sometimes it's needed as a man, but you got to understand where it comes from. It comes from the divine nature. It comes from sub-communication. So understand that every single woman's actions stem from her divine nature. So her divine nature is not like a man's. A man's nature is to go, I see rock. I like rock. I throw rock. Ho, 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 ho. It's straight like a line. It's order. I like rock. I put rock here. I like this. I put this here. I am man. I have problem. I solve problem. I happy. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Woman's nature is not that. Woman's nature is, man, look at this rock. What happens if I put the rock in the pond? What happens if I take the rock and I throw the rock in the pond? What happens if I take this rock and then all the other rocks fall? I wonder what's going to happen. Woman's nature is different from a man's. Woman's nature, oh my God, this rock is so pretty. Oh, I'm gonna cry. How women communicate drives from their divine nature, which is to disqualify weak men and identify them. Now, we've been talking about men here, right? A woman is a master at getting under your skin because that is her primary function. She's there to see if she can get under your skin, and because if she can, then she knows in her eyes she can get under your skin. And if she can get under your skin in her eyes, then, well, other people can get under your skin. It's the woman's logic. She needs constant reassurance that you are the man. And when you start to understand this, you just see, oh, okay, the woman is here to annoy the crap out of me. That's like, I'm here to annoy the crap out of my woman. Are you listening to me? Do you understand? Do you understand what I am saying? When you understand from this perspective, you start to understand what life is like as a man. You understand why you got to understand this as life as a boss. Women are here to annoy you and give you shit, and they're also here to love you. You know, I'm here to give my woman hell. I'm here to love them. I'm here to guide them to the truth. But most of the times a woman hangs with me, her brain is breaking in half and her mind is splitting in two. 1 second she loves me, 1 second she's arousing me, 1 second she wants to have sex, 1 second she wants to hold me, she wants to love me, she wants to cuddle me, and the next second she hates me. Because what is wrong with this guy? Who is this guy? Taking away all my pain, all my baggage, but simultaneously tormenting me at the same time. Because the truth, sometimes love purifies. And sometimes love purifies the heart and purifies the soul, baby. You've never been held to this standard before. You've never been raised to such levels of love. You've never been confronted with the being who walks in the truth. So understand that you have not met a man with a plan, but understand that this is how it is. Yeah, when you start to operate at this level, when you start to understand women for what they are, you can start to have fun with them and enjoy them. Many men learn this knowledge and they're like, oh, I wish a woman would start to be accountable. Men are sick and tired of doing all the heavy work. It is now the woman's turn. Men have been doing heavy work since human beings ever existed. You beta male are going to sit there and cry and say, you know what? I don't want to be a man anymore. Now the woman must do everything for me. Come on now, bro. What the hell is going on? What is going on out here? This makes no sense. So Okay, now let us continue, my friend, so you understand the divine nature of the woman. The divine nature of the woman, the way women communicate, ultimately is to protect her. It's to protect her because men are natural predators. If you think of nature, and you think of back in the day, when the old big homie Genghis Khan was prancing around with his freaking Mongol empire, going to villages, plumaging them, and killing all the men, kidnapping all the children and the women. Yeah, that may have caused some trauma. That may have caused some trauma to the female species when they were kidnapped and rummaged and pillaged and made into slaves, or their husband was murdered right in front of them, and then they was just put in a little carriage and taken as a war prize. Yeah, back in the day, that may have really, really traumatized the woman. So a woman had to develop many survival mechanisms. If you think life is hard as a man, yes it is. But you know what's hard too? Life as a woman is pretty hard. When you got a bunch of dudes always trying to have intercourse with you. When you have a bunch of dudes who are trying to take advantage of you. When you are only judged based on your appearance by half of the human species and not the divine man. And most men that you meet as a woman are underdeveloped and they're not spiritually initiated. Yeah, it's quite tough. It's quite tough when you're a 13-year-old woman and you're in the store, when you're in the shopping mall, and old guys are hitting on you. Maybe even your family members are trying to. Yeah, life is pretty hard as a woman. So they develop some things and they have a nature to protect them and to find the best man. So if you're a man and you're always complaining about why women like this, why women, try to look at it from the woman's perspective. It is much more difficult in many ways to be a woman in the modern world than to be a man. Now, I'm not trying to argue here. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to heal you here, my friend. This is not a discussion for debate. So, also, if you understand how a woman communicates, the reason why also, right? God gave her the divine nature to disqualify the weak men and identify them. But you know what he also gave to the woman, which is quite the supreme duty. She has the ability to house the next generation. Of all families, there is a matriarch. There has to always be a matriarch. Sometimes there is not a patriarch because a guy goes off and dies. But we were all born from a mother. There was a matriarch in every family. There was a woman in every family who is a mother. That duty of being a mother is quite vulnerable and quite important. So she has developed this way of communication. She has developed this way of navigating the world. She can only get pregnant, I believe, by one man at a time. I believe. I'm not an expert on being pregnant. So, woo, man. In which she was given a divine duty to bring the next generation. So, you know what? This nature cannot be turned off. This nature can't be turned off. So even if she already has a man, her nature is still turned on. If she's talking to a man, she's dealing with a man. If you're her coworker, if you're her family, if she's your boss, you already know this, the female nature still kicks in. And she's always trying to qualify you as a strong man or a weak man. She's always trying to battle your masculinity and see how sharp and developed it is. Your grandma, your auntie, your mother, your sister will all use the female realms of communication on you just to see through your bullshit and give you shit. But sometimes your family will be much more kind to you and upfront to you than other women, such as your coworker, your romantic interests. But know that it always like this. This is why one man she can be such an angel to, and then another man she can be a total biatch to. Whereas men, we're oftentimes more different with our judgment. We tend to treat people equally. Women don't treat people equally. Women treat people through the strength that they see in them, and that is how it is. Understand that. Understanding womanese is to understand that this is where the woman proceeds from. Almost every single word or every single actions that she says to you is to see if she can trust you more or less, because she proceeds from her divine nature, and her divine nature is a relentless force. The relentless force that exists within her is the nature of Mother Nature, which is to disqualify the weak and to qualify the strong. Understand that all womanese language and action stems from that. Say it for the brother in the back who didn't hear it. Understand that all womanese language and action stems from that one divine nature. Now, if that is just a little bit informative, go to spiritualbossglobal.com or check the link in the description if you want to work with me, if you want to understand even more, right? Book a consultation, go ahead. Now, let's get into part 2 of the video. Before then, allow me to drink some Coca-Cola. Now, part 2 of the video. Well, I went over how women communicate with men, really. How do women communicate with each other? Let's get into that a little bit, and then let's go into how do women compete, which is really, they compete with each other. How do women communicate with each other? They also sub-communicate with each other. A woman is unconsciously in competition with other women to be the baddest, most eventful bitch. Now, the last time I worked a job, when many years ago, I worked in a clinic, and there were these 2 nursing assistants, and there was one day, I used to be an x-ray technologist. There was one day where I stepped out of my room in the dark at the end of my shift to listen to their conversation for around 10 minutes. And I kid you not, this is what the conversation between the 2 women, 2 ladies, the 2 lovely ladies went. I remember very carefully because this was around the time I was mastering womanese. You'll learn the womanese very quickly in the medical field, my friend. And it went something like this. There's a Filipino girl and a white girl. And the white girl was like, oh my God. So the other day I was at a red light, and then this guy came and pulled up to me at a red light. And then the Filipino girl was like, oh my God, girl, really? And then the white girl was like, yeah. And then when he pulled up to the red light, I thought he was like rolling his window down to hit on me. But it turns out that the light was just red for a really long time. And then when the light stopped turning red, it went green. And then he just drove off. And like, that was my day yesterday on the ride home. Like, I totally thought this guy was hitting on me, but like, he actually wasn't hitting me on me. And I was like, oh my God. And then I just went home. And then I was sitting there like, this conversation makes no damn sense. And the Filipino girl was like totally into it. She's like, oh my God, really? Ha ha ha. That is so funny. So was he hitting on you? He wasn't hitting on you, was he? Wow, don't you think that's so funny and like awkward when that happens? And, like, someone pulls up to you and like you think they're like trying to talk to you, but actually you're just at the same light. And the white girl's like, yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? And that conversation extended for probably another 5 to 10 minutes, but at that point I tuned it out because I remember sitting there thinking, why am I listening to this? And what is this conversation about? Women communicate with her. Women communicate. Oh my goodness. Women communicate with each other on a sub-communicative realm as well, because women are naturally more passive than the man, right? The woman's realm of power is sub-communication. The woman's realm of power is beauty. So when it comes to competition with each other, they're not very upfront with it. A woman's communication is not very upfront. A woman's communication really revolves around the power of her beauty and the power of her ability to do things. A woman's competition comes from the power of her ability to do things without doing anything. The more that a woman can effortlessly attract and sway and manipulate reality and make it appear as if she is doing nothing but winning and just having a great life, that is how women compete with each other. This is why you'll see women in like beautiful clothes, yeah, and outlandish clothes. Oftentimes women love wearing dresses or things that make it very hard for them to move, like high heels. I can't run in my high heels. They're so uncomfortable. Well, why do you wear them? You know why she wears them? She wears them because they're very uncomfortable. She wears them because it accentuates her figure, her beauty. She wears them because it's uncomfortable. Because when it's uncomfortable, it means that she's able to exist in a state that is uncomfortable. And you know what that means? That means she's able to do something that allows her to exist and afford to wear clothes that makes her uncomfortable. It's showing that I can wear this stuff, and it's so outlandish, and it makes me so beautiful that the average woman can't, that other woman can't. So women, right? A man, oftentimes men compete with each other by showing how competent they are, by showing how much status they can acquire, right? Cars and muscle and ability. The man wants to show his ability to communicate with the world, right? His skill. He wants to assert himself into the world. The woman doesn't want to assert herself into the world. The woman wants to be the most beautiful, magnetic flower. And how she communicates this is a sub-communication. It is being more womanly. It is being more fancy. It is being more exotic. It is being able to travel the world. It's not showing all the hard work she does. It's competing with other moms on Facebook. It's competing to be the best mother. It's showing her ability as a woman to other women. And showing the ability as a woman to other women isn't exactly the grind like a man's and competing like a man's and fist fighting and yelling. It's more silent. It's more subtle. The woman competes with other women by being the baddest bitch. And you know who the baddest bitches are? The baddest bitches are the alpha females. You know what the alpha females are? The alpha females are the females that are complementary to the alpha male. So the alpha female is not full of characteristics like the alpha male. She is the complement. She is the yin to his yang. So the alpha female is beautiful. She is wise. She is more submissive. She is more emotional. She is more graceful. She is a symbol of peace. She is a symbol of beauty. She is exotic. She is erotic. She is magnetic. The baddest woman competes by being the most still and being the most exotic and being the most beautiful, by making things look effortless, because their power comes from beauty. Their power comes from magnetism. Women compete in a very different way because they communicate in the sub-communicative realms. They're not direct. They're not saying, here, look at me. I have everything that you don't have. I am better than you. No, they'll go, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh wow, nice dress, nice blah. Oh look, blah, right? It's women stuff. Women compete, but they're very, very competitive. Women are very, very competitive. Women are very, very, very competitive. Every woman is very, very competitive. Some men, they don't care for competition. I don't really care for competition, right? I really don't care for competition. I really just never really cared for competition. I'm a shaman. You're gonna compete with me? This is a spiritual boss. A spiritual boss. There is no competition for a spiritual boss, man. You can't compete with a spiritual boss. There is no competition for a spiritual boss, bro. There is no competition. I'm so competitive with myself that it's very even hard to fucking quantify me and compare me to another human being, to another human man, because the realm that we exist in, a spiritual boss, is just so different. But excuse me, what was I even speaking of? Women are very, 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 very competitive. Women are hyper competitive with each other. And I want you to understand this because I want you to understand the woman. Contrary to popular belief, women have very, very little friends. You see on those Instagram pics, Becky and Susie and Tiffany and Sarah and Bethany and Lillian and Susie and Kim and Lisa and Lillian and Leanna and Rose and whatever American name I can think of. They're all in a picture together with their glasses on or their swimsuit on, or they're getting drunk in Vegas. Girls' night out! Contrary to popular belief, women have very little friends. Women are so competitive with each other that oftentimes they don't even like their friends. So this is really something for you to really, really take account of. You know, women talk to each other on the phone. Your mom, your sister, your auntie, they talk to each other on the phone and they get together. But if you really understand, if you listen to a woman and you hang out with a woman, if you had a girlfriend or a wife, right, you definitely know that eventually when you hear her talk, she's always going to start talking bad about her friends. And you'll sit there and wonder as a man, you go, why do you hate your friends? Why are they your friends if you hate them? And it's just the way women are. Women are hyper competitive with each other. A woman has very little real friends. Like real friendship, the sisterhood, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. A woman may have one friend or two friends. She may have sisters or family that she actually trusts, maybe her mother. But a woman's real friends and real companions through life is maybe her mentor, her teacher, sister, a very close circle. The higher a woman is in her femininity, the more her social circle shrinks. And a woman's real friend is usually her close family, her siblings, maybe her children, and her man, and her mother, and her father. But other than that, women have very little friends. They're super competitive, and they know women better than each other. So women compete and fight each other through psychological dominance. The same nature they use to disqualify men and communicate with men, aka womanese, they also fight in womanese. So this is why women can be friends on the surface, but if you know, all women begin to talk bad about their so-called friends. Where men attack people physically and squash the beef, women don't squash the beef. Women do not squash the beef. Women play dirty. Women compete dirty. Women play very dirty. This is why some of you men listening right now, you got in a divorce with a woman and you wondered, where did this crazy psycho bitch come from? Where did the woman, the girl that I married, go? And why is this woman trying to break me for everything and take me for everything? And why is she treats me like the scum of the earth, the shit on her shoe, the mosquito she just slapped with her wrist? Men become confused when they see the side of a woman. Because women attack psychologically, and women are actually much more ruthless than men. Why? Because in their nature, it's in their nature to be ruthless like this, psychologically. So when a woman finds that weak point, or she has an opportunity to go in for the kill, she doesn't just go in for the kill. She goes in and she destroys and she dominates. All women do this. Women are masters of sub-communication. So when you see a woman attacking somebody psychologically or making their attack public, they have planned this like masterminds. Women are masterminds at competition. Women are masterminds at attacking people psychologically. I love women very much. This is why I know so much about them and have a great respect for them. This is why a man must understand womanese and understand the person that he is dealing with. You think you know a woman, you don't know a woman. You don't know her until you know her. And do you ever really know her? It might take at least 3 to 5 years to really know a woman if you spend tons of time with her, right? The girl that you met, the sweet, young, innocent girl that you met who's so sweet, that was not her. That's just her socially acceptable side. Real love is when you can see someone, all their flaws, all their weakness, bearing their soul to you. I like a woman to bear her soul to me. I like to envelop myself, inject my consciousness into her, and understand every single little thing about her. The things that happened to her that she never told anybody. Her deep, darkest desires to be ravished, to be fucked. Her deep, dark desires to stomp on people, to destroy weak men. I like examining that ruthless side of women. I like having women bring that out because the male space holds a container for the woman. And when you really know a woman, right? A woman has to trust you for her to reveal herself to you, right? And most men don't know women. Bosses know women because that's what I'm here to help you become, a boss. You got to know the woman. Most men are not ready for a woman's real love, and most men are not ready to know the real woman. That woman, that girl, that young kid that you see crying in front of you with tears in her eyes, looking all innocent. If you knew the real thoughts behind her mind, if you knew what she was thinking, if you knew what she was planning years down the line to literally destroy somebody, or to hold this in the back of her head and log it into her mental Rolodex, you would see the world in a very different light. You'll never ever think that a woman is a innocent, shy creature again. Oh, no. A woman is a relentless force of nature, and it should be treated with respect and love, but firmness and care. Woman attacks psychologically. If a woman communicates on the subconscious level, this is why, understand this why here. This is very, very, very important. If a woman communicates on the subconscious level, why does she communicate on the subconscious level? Because on the conscious world, the world where the light is, she has to present herself in a certain way. She has to present herself morally correct. She has to present herself as a woman. And the world has made women to be modest and caring and be a woman. The worst thing for her is to bring all of her truths out into the public. And this is what women will do to other women, attack their reputation. And if you tell a woman everything about yourself, she will also attempt to destroy your character if something ever happened. So here's a litmus test that I use when it comes to seeing if a woman is trustworthy, or getting to know your woman and getting to know her real character. Seeing how much emotional control she has over herself. And I always tell men this. Tell your woman something you don't like about yourself. You can just make some stupid shit up. Tell your woman, I'm insecure about the length of my fingers. And she'll go, really? Really? Fingers? And she'll laugh it off and she'll play it off. But you know what she'll do? She'll keep that in the back of her head. And the next time you guys are arguing, and the next time she's upset, you'll hear her say something about that. She'll go, you know what? You have short, stubby fingers. Idiots. and that's how women play. They play to damage you psychologically, and they're ruthless with you. So this is how you know the different sides of your woman. Just tell her some shit. Tell her something. Tell her something just totally irrelevant, and see if one day she'll use that against you, because that's what women do. That's how they compete, and that's how they attack. That's how they communicate. They attack psychologically. They communicate through the psychological. This is why you don't tell women things about yourself. You don't have to open your heart to the woman. Open your heart to God. You're not supposed to open your heart to the woman. The woman's supposed to open her heart to you. You're supposed to be a safe space for her, not the other way around. Oh, trust and believe. Trust and believe. Most men have been destroyed by this. I've seen a video where a woman is arguing with her boyfriend, and she's like, this is why your dad left you. This is why you're a piece of shit and your dad doesn't like you. And the guys get so upset. He's like, wow, why would you go there? You know why she's going there? Because you told her, you gave her a gun for the ammo. This is love and war, son. Men go to war. Women go to love. This is love and war. You don't understand? This is love and war. Why would you talk about that? Why would you bring that up? Why? How could you go there? I trusted you. Yeah, she went there because you trusted her. And in her state of emotionality, for the woman is a storm of emotions, she remembered, oh yeah, that guy told me something. He was very upset when he told me. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Got one. Let me see with my womanese language to see if I can get under his skin here. Yeah, that's why your father left you. You're a piece of shit. Stupid. Womanese radar goes off. I upset him. Well, looks like my man wasn't the man that I thought he was. You understand this? You understand this? It's quite robotic in its nature, right? Isn't it? You understand the program is quite robotic in its nature. So once again, women compete with other women through appearance. They compete through appearance. They compete through what they can do with their beauty, what they can do with their power. I have a saying, and it's quite the funny saying. There are two things that women love: is DNA. What do you think the D stands for? DNA. What do you think the D stands for? A stands for attention. A woman that is successful is able to capture the attention of the world with her beauty, with her talent, with her gifts, with her intelligence. That's why people look up to some of the women of the past, like Marilyn Monroe. What was her beauty? Her beauty wasn't in a man's eyes to get power, to build businesses, to do certain things. Rah, rah, rah. No, her beauty was the ability to walk down the street and to captivate people. Her beauty was a one-of-a-kind beauty that she turned on, and men were captivated by her and they adored her. Her beauty, what is another woman? I believe it's Princess Elizabeth. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, excuse me, Princess Diana. Her beauty was in her kind heart. Her beauty was in her way to be effortless. Her beauty was in her way to present herself as pure and to have class. The woman's beauty is her power. The woman's elegance and grace is her power. And women compete oftentimes through a representation of their power. They use clothes, they use makeup, they use this as a signal of status. Women compete to signal that they have the power that they don't need to do, showing that through their appearance and clothes, that they don't need to do and what they don't need to do. The more ordinary that a woman looks oftentimes is a different symbol of status. Now, I'm not saying this to be all women. I'm not saying this to be all things. No, there's some women that are minimalist. Don't generalize everything here. As a man, you must understand that women care about things that you don't care about, and definitely do not even notice, like the color of her nails, the length of her eyebrows and lashes, her lipstick colors, the pictures they have with you, the pictures they have with their baby. You know, women care about different things than men, and women are always in a vicious competition with each other. Even if they don't seem like it, they are. It's just different. They operate on different plane and dimension that most men are attuned to. Recently, my brother had a child, and my mother became a grandmother. And all of a sudden, her sister told my cousin, right, which is her son, "Why don't you have a grandchild yet?" "Hey, I have a grandchild." They compete in a different way. Matriarch and patriarch compete very differently. This is very important for a man to know. The way women communicate, where they derive their power and satisfaction from, and how they compete and attempt to destroy each other. The women, if they don't like another woman, they will attempt to destroy them by assassinating their character. A man will literally try to assassinate a man physically. A woman will try to assassinate another woman's character. And you know, women are so good at this that they'll make it seem like everything just happened as a way. Now, I want to leave you with the most important aspect of womanese here. And it is that women are ultra sneaky because they communicate through the language of energy and sub-communication. Meaning you have to be able to read between the lines with a woman. So I'll give you an example right here. You ask a woman about her last relationship, or you ask your sister about her last relationship, and she'll go, "That guy was an asshole. He was an asshole. He was toxic. He was manipulative, and he was controlling." And we just argued all the time. And after a while, I had enough of the arguing. And I got tired of all the arguing. And he had problems. He had problems with getting mad. He had problems drinking alcohol. And I just disliked it so much. That's what she tells you because that's what she needs to tell on the surface. But oftentimes, you know, women are very good at this. I'm not saying this happens all the times, but oftentimes, on the down low, what really happened was every single day she was arguing with a man. Every single day she was stressing out to make him drink. Every single damn day she found a problem. You know how women are. They're very good at this. One second they're happy. Tomorrow they come in the door. "Hey, honey, how's it going?" "Don't talk to me." "What do you mean, don't talk to you? What's wrong?" "What do you mean, what's wrong?" "Oh, I was just wondering if you're okay or not." "Well, why are you wondering if I'm okay or not? You just think there's always something wrong with me? But that's your problem, Eric. God, Eric, there's always something. You always just think that there's something wrong with you, isn't it, Eric?" And Eric's there like, "What are you talking about?" And then after a while, she pushes Eric's button so much. "Are you cheating on me, Eric? Is this why you blah, blah, blah? Why did you cook the dinner? And why did you do this?" And then the list goes on. And then they start arguing. You know, why? Because the woman, sometimes, she secretly wants to break up with you. But she can't tell you to your face, "I'm breaking up with you." She needs to create a reason to break up with you. Because this goes back to her divine nature. Sometimes, right? If she thinks her man is weak, or she finds out that he's just kind of unattracted to her, or if he might be dangerous, or she wants to protect her reputation, she has to create a situation where she can exit stage left without anything actually going on. So instead of her going, "I'm breaking up with you because you have a small penis and you just don't turn me on anymore. You're a beta male, Eric." Well, what would happen if Selena said that to Eric? If Selena said that to Eric, he might lose his cool, jump off a bridge, or punch her in the mouth. Not that I am insinuating that, right? Not that I am insinuating that, but these things actually do happen. So, as a professional woman and a professional divergent, maybe a couple months in advance, she starts to just annoy Eric on purpose. She stops cooking for him. She doesn't have sex with him. And then she irritates him. And then they're always arguing. They always argue for 3 months. Until one day, Eric goes, or they go, you know what, this relationship's over. But in the back of her head, the real her, she's like, oh, finally it's over. She goes, it's over? No, I don't want it to be over. And then Eric's like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. No, no, baby, I don't want this to be over. We can work it out. And then she's like, no, and she starts arguing again. She's like, damn it didn't work. No, but she's trying to get a exit stage. She's trying to create some chaos to exit the situation. Women are very sneaky like this. So whenever you hear a woman a situation about a certain thing, know that her ex-boyfriend was always a toxic, manipulative, controlling asshole. And sometimes she is, or excuse me, sometimes he is, but sometimes he's not. And sometimes a woman is just communicating to you. So you have to be able to understand womanese and read between the lines. Yeah, there are many things to learn about women here. And as a man, you have to understand the nature of the woman and how sneaky the woman can be, and how psychologically dominant a woman can be, and how a woman is really here just to annoy you and give you shit, and because it's her divine nature to constantly see who is the best man. And even if you are the best man today, and even if you were the best man yesterday, it doesn't mean you're the best man in the next 5 minutes. And sometimes she just needs to be reminded. So when you start to understand this and you start to view the woman as who she is, which is really, what is a woman? What is a woman? Woman is an interesting creature. Woman is everything that a man is not. Woman is beautiful. Women are beautiful. I love women. I'm a lover. If many of you guys know Uncle Ron Wheels, I'm a loafer. That means lover of fat asses. Not only do I love fat asses, I love me some nice breastises. Yeah, women are beautiful. Women are beautiful. They're everything that a man's not. So don't expect them to act like you. Don't expect them to be like you. But understand what they are and just see them for what they are. That they're beautiful, that they are confusing, that they have their own nature, that they operate in the world in a different way, that they are potentially the mothers to your children. They play a big role in humanity, and they are really just they're always, when you are able to understand what they are, you can respect a woman and see what they are capable of without demeaning them, without hating on them. And especially, very importantly, when you have this knowledge, you won't get hurt by the woman. You understand who she is, you understand what she does. You don't get hurt by women anymore. You just start to see that, okay, a woman is a woman is a woman. That's the nature of the woman. That's how women communicate, and that's how they compete. Thank you for listening.